Hello, my friends. Um, I'm really talking today about self-love and acceptance because it's something that's been a journey for me. And I know that it's talked about a lot. And because of that, I know I've found it hard to understand how to actually physically in day-to-day life put it into practice. Okay, so because of that, I have over time learned lessons on practices that have helped me to really love and accept myself. So I've written down a few things, and I feel really strongly that if you're tuning in, if you've clicked on this video, then it's something for you. It's a message from your guidance system to advise you on how to really understand what self-love is. And so I've written down a few things. I'm going to probably look down a bit and then connect with you again, if that's okay, just to so that I remember everything, because I don't want to forget stuff either. If I get a little bit talking too much or nervous, I can forget things. And that's just me. So the first thing is, what is self-love? Because it's more than, treating yourself to a massage or getting your nails done if you're interested in that kind of thing. So whether you're male or female, what is it about practicing self-love that gives you that feeling of appreciating yourself? So it is physical, it's emotional, and it's psychological support that you give yourself. And it's something that you do over time, and then actions and practices over time consistently create that self-love and appreciation. And for those of you, my friends, who've done ceremonies, you'll probably have gotten that download from spirit that you are enough and that you are worthy. But then with the integration process, you need to then follow up on that. And that's the same with any modality that you use. If you use breath work, if you use meditation, it's putting into action that self-care. So I've written down a few little points, and the first one is, if is very important, it's forgive yourself. And I think that we all are kind of trained in this world to be hard on ourselves and to focus on the things that we perceive that we've done wrong rather than on the things that we do really well. And so looking back, seeing how well you've done in life, giving yourself a pat on the back and letting go of those perceived things that you've done wrong. Of course, if you have been hurtful or something, you say sorry, but then you let it go and you move on and you focus on how far you've come. So forgiving yourself, showing that kindness to yourself is very important. That's one. Number two, be mindful. So when you're mindful, you're aware of your thinking. You're not the thinker, you're the observer. And there are ways to become more conscious of what you're thinking by either journaling, so writing, or by learning how to meditate. Practicing yoga can help slow you down. Breathing, taking deep breaths, all those are tools that can help you become more mindful and then challenge the thoughts, the negative thoughts, as they come up. So that's two. Other part of that is recognizing, when you're mindful, what your goals are, and are they goals that you have set because there's something you're passionate about, or are they goals that you feel others have put on you or that society says that you should achieve? And just connecting in with what's real and what's put upon you as somebody else's goal. Okay. The third is act on what you need. So what gives you energy? For example, for me, I'm an introvert, and I know that I love going out, I love people, and I love connecting with people and meeting new people. But I also know that I need to have time on my own to recharge and to re-energize. And some people, the extroverts like out there, need to get out and connect with people, and then they get energy from connecting with people. So knowing a bit about yourself and what your needs are. So recognizing, identifying your needs. One I've learned recently that I've spoken a little bit about is setting boundaries. And boundaries are not to, ruin a relationship. It's actually to help establish better relationship boundaries and to facilitate better relationships within that connection with that other person. And when you know how to set boundaries, it's something that you're doing, that you decide you're going to accept some behavior and not accept other behavior. So finding out what behaviors are really upsetting you and taking that time out, being mindful about recognizing those upsetting behaviors and deciding how you're going to set boundaries. And it really helps to maintain the relationship, and you don't then necessarily lose that relationship with somebody that, if you had a complete cut off because you just got in the moment of being really angry and upset and saying, you know, enough, and then you cut off all contact. And if you had been more mindful and recognizing how this was infringing on you and it was affecting you, and you tune in with your body and see how it's making you feel, then may not have gotten to that point where there was a complete cut off. You may have been able to establish a boundary and maintain the relationship, and actually improved the relationship, because oftentimes people are not aware of their behavior as being hurtful or damaging, and just being able to talk about it in a really calm, collected, heart-to-heart way, but with confidence and authority. This is what I want, this is what I won't accept. It often restores and rejuvenates a relationship. So that's an important aspect to help with self-care. Okay, so what else? Number 5, I would say protect yourself. So on that note, again, following on from the last one, there are people that are quite negative, that will bring you down, that maybe not support your dreams, that you are noticing that you're around, and then you feel drained and you feel down and you feel negative. And you must then recognize that that's a relationship that you may need to distance yourself from, or you may want to see the people that you know are supportive and loving and positive, and choose to spend time around them. But do what's right for you. Spend your time really mindfully with people that you love and connect with, who support you and your goals and your life. Then 6, live intentionally. So by that I mean, if you decide that you want to be healthy and you want a peaceful life, if that's your intention, then you may need to change your diet. You may need to consistently choose to exercise every day, to follow up on that yoga program. So following through on what you plan and what you say you're going to do will give you that feeling of good on you, and giving yourself a little pat on the back for being that person. But also, when you do let yourself go, when you do miss a day, not beating yourself up, not going back into negative self-talk, but just saying it's okay, talking to yourself like you're your own best friend. Ready, you made a mistake or you got down, so what? You're going to get back up and you'll do it again tomorrow, and everything's fine. You're doing really well. Talking to yourself as your own best friend, because we're often such hard critics. I know I have been, and I would never speak to somebody else the way that I have spoken to myself in the past. And I want that for you. I want you to be kinder to yourself, which probably leads into the next one. Yeah, 7 is show up for yourself. So I have decided to be my own best friend, and I will be my own best advocate. I will no longer tolerate negative self-talk, and I will support myself, and I will be as kind to myself as I am to all my beautiful friends and all of you guys out there in the world. And I want that for you. And so that is a really empowering practice once you become self-aware. So self-awareness, meditating, journaling helps with that self-awareness. And that's part of the last one, which is self-care. So number 8 is know your needs and act of love. Check in and provide yourself with what you need, which is an act of love. So checking in, and that changes moment by moment. And there are going to be times in your life where you're having a lot more challenges. You know, we have all got winters in our life, and I've gone through a pretty rough time myself in my own life, which I feel I'm coming through. But as we all know, they're the times where we learn the most about ourselves and where we can make the biggest shifts. And so they are a blessing, and life, I do believe, firmly happens for us, not to us. And so I am learning to really love, accept, and live joyfully in the now. And that's a practice, and that's consistent effort involved in that. And what I've learned, I want to share, because by me talking it out with you, I'm reinforcing it for myself as well. And I hope in a tiny little way it can be of service to you. And I think the fact that you're actually listening is the universe saying to you, this is what you need right now in the moment. And I thank you again once more for listening. I love you guys. Take care.